going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and the time has come. KS1 and KS2 Overclocking Firmware is now available. So I currently don't have the firmware for the KS1. It is available though, don't get me wrong, you can get it. But I'm going to be updating in this video the two KS2s, and we're going to kind of go over what's going on. If you're unfamiliar, the other day the KS0 firmware did release. It was for free, but these are overclocked differently, and that method that's used there does not work here. So this is behind a little bit of a paywall, and it is tied to the MAC address of your Kaspa ASICs. Now, the original guy who did figure out all this Ice River hacking or coding, I guess, is XYYS. T-Swift then did get a hold of them. They've been working together to bring this out for everybody. Things do seem stable and all good to go. So now it is on official release. So the current pricing to get your hands on this firmware does look like about 1,600 Kaspa for the KS2s. That is about $80 at around 5 cent Kaspa. And the KS1 is coming in at 800 Kaspa, about $40. Now, if you do have multiple miners, there is bulk deals available, so you can get it all at a cheaper price. Now, earlier I did mention that this is tied to the MAC address. That is the physical address of the miner itself, which means if you try to flash it onto any other ASIC, it will not work. So it is encrypted and designed for the single ASIC. Now, if you have multiple and you do get a whole bunch, they can tie it all to the same firmware file. But again, if someone tries to leak it and update their own miners, it will not work because they privately have to tie it to the MAC address itself. So keep these things in mind. You definitely have to pay for this. There is no tricks around it. Now, in order to get your hands on the firmware, you must contact T-Swift directly. I will have his contact details down in the description, and the best way to probably get a hold of him would be to join my Discord, and then you can simply DM him or something, as well as stay up to date on all of these ASIC miners. We got all the latest information when it comes to FPGAs, GPUs, network coins, rug pulls. Everything is happening in my Discord. Link in the description. Join up ASAP to get a hold and get all the latest information on things. Also, if you're having issues with the capture bot, simply DM me and I can let you in. But that would be the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of him. Again, I will have his Telegram and everything down in the description as well. Okay, so I did shut off everything I have going on this circuit, the X16, the E300 FPGAs. I got all my Apollos, everything off, unplugged. I did turn off the KS1 as well. All that's running is the KS2s, two of them. At the wall, we can see we are currently using about 2443 watts, 2442. If I divide that by 2, that's about 1222 watts. So there's our baseline of about 1222 per rig. And so we're going to go in there, update the KS2, see what our power looks like, as well as our hash rates. Okay, so here is my miner dashboards for my two KS2s, so the KS2-1 and the KS2-2. Like I mentioned earlier, I have one file that does have the MAC address of both of these miners, so they are tied to them and them only. So if I was just to give it to you guys, it wouldn't work in your miners. Also, another note to point out is if you don't like the firmware, it's running too much power for you or something, you can revert back to the latest Ice River firmware and get rid of all these overclock settings and run stock again. So that is the other option that you can do if you don't like the firmware. So let's update this. I'm going to do them both at the same time. I'm going to go to firmware upgrade. I'm just going to select the file here. Downloads, I already have a download. We can see 2500 G KS2, so we're going to get about 2.5 terahash upwards from 2 terahash, 500 gigabytes. We're going to open that up. I just want to make sure both files are ready to hit that at the same time. Here we go again, 2500 G KS2. So I'm going to get update. Wait for it to do its thing. Go to the other one, hit update, wait for it to do its thing. It's going to take a couple seconds here to load, usually about 1 to 3 minutes. The KS0 was pretty darn fast. Okay, so operation is succeeded. I'm going to hit OK. It is asking to restart, so I'm going to hit OK. Make sure you restart this. I'm going to go back into there. Yes, OK. Go back to the other one. Okay. Asking to restart it. Yes. Okay. So if it doesn't ask you to restart your miner, go down and manually hit the restart button. Nothing will take effect until it is restarted. So we're going to wait for these to restart now, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we are back now. We're about 1 minute 20 seconds in on KS2 All the settings remained as is. I didn't have to do anything. We can see 3 accepted shares. We're going to go into the other one, 1 minute 16 seconds. We have 2 accepted shares. So we are connected to the pool. We are now mining. We're going to have to wait at least 5 minutes to start seeing any hash rate in the dashboard. And then it's probably going to take a good 20 minutes or so until we see anything happening at the pool, which I'll bring up right now. Hit that refresh button. We can see the KS1 here was 22 minutes ago, that because we have that thing off, and we're still waiting for the KS2 and KS2 to update to the latest hash rate. One thing to take note, I am running these at 50% fans. It does make them pretty quiet at that point. And if you go into home and then simply jump back, that little blue tab here does disappear, but the fans are ramped down. So I just want you to know I am running 50%. When I did the power test, we were at 50% as well. So we are up in mining. We're going to take a look at the power at the wall. Previously, we're at about 1,222 watts for a single miner. So now it's looking like about 3,069 watts or so. So I'm going to go 3,069, divide that by 2. So we are at about 1,534 watts. So we are up a couple hundred watts, nothing major. We're going to wait for some hash rate to hit now and see exactly how well these are performing. All right, so we're in the dashboard of the first miner here. It looks like about 2.5 terahash, 2,598 gigahash, almost 2.6 terahash. And in the other one, we are at that 2.5. So it's looking like our dashboard hash rates are where they should be. We still got to wait a while longer, so we start seeing a boost at the pool here. So we'll come back when that happens, but so far it's looking like everything worked a-okay. Okay, so here we are at the pool, and we are seeing an increase in hash rate. We're sitting at about 2.42 terahash on one of them, and the other is at 2.32. I just turned on the KS1, so obviously it's looking like it's pretty low. I don't have that firmware yet, but I will do an updated video once I start testing that. So I did do some numbers based on the new power consumptions and everything, and previously at about 1222 watts, we were sitting at about a 1.63 gigahash per watt ratio. We are slightly less now at 2.5 terahash and 1,534 watts at 1.62. So it is less, but it is hardly anything. It is pretty much the same efficiencies here. So things are still looking pretty good in the efficiency department of this miner originally. All right, guys, so it does look like the updated OC firmware on the KS2s is working. I will do an updated video when I do test the KS1 when I get my hands on that firmware, but it looks like it is available for the KS1s and KS2s now. The efficiency is slightly less, but pretty much the same efficiency as we had previously. We are using a bit more power, so if you are getting close to power limited, keep that in the back of your mind that you are using more power here. Now, I know the big thing here is the paywall. A lot of people are probably going to be pretty upset with it. I apologize for that. There's nothing I can do about it. But again, if you do want to get your hands on this firmware, all the contact details is down in the description there to T-Swift. And again, the easiest way to contact them would be just to join my Discord down below, the Rabid Mining Discord, and it will keep you up to date on a lot of the newest things that is coming. Thank you for checking out this video. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.